My name's Aaron, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm juggling in my hands on my phone, Golden Dusk by Sunnamusk. This was about £100. I've just tried to go onto the site and it said access denied. It feels a bit personal. So this is an amber fougere fragrance for women and men. The top notes are Egyptian balsam, grapefruit and damask rose. The middle notes are honeysuckle, vanillin, fruity notes and musk. And the base notes are floral notes, musk, resins and amber. Golden Dusk is a masterpiece created to meet the needs of both modern men and women. I'm not going to read that. I would never put masterpiece because personally, as a human being, I'm trying to do better than I did the day before, better than the month before, better than the year before. Every day I'm trying to improve and I never consider anything I've done a masterpiece. I never consider anything, my work ever finished. I always think I can achieve better, push myself better. And I never would put masterpiece or all that kind of stuff. I don't really like it, to be honest. So it was saying all of that naturals, but on the back, it says alcohol denate and perfume fragrance. Now, this is why the inky is really important on the back. So when you have alcohol denate perfume fragrance and no linalool, limonene, citral, all the allergens, no BHT. BHT, I'm going to quickly talk about BHT. Is an antioxidant at trace amounts. It's incredibly safe and it just helps to keep citruses and keeps the fragrance fresh and it stops it from oxidizing. Somebody messaged me and said, is BHT toxic? And in low doses, the dermal systematic toxicity is null and void. The toxicity comes from BHT at high amounts, ingested or applied on the skin in very large amounts over very long periods of time. At trace amounts, which is generally 0.01 to 0.05%, which is minuscule. It doesn't do anything, it just prevents oxidation. And when it's preventing oxidation within a formulation, just the trace amounts, it's working on that. There isn't going to be anything left over to work on your skin, so it's completely safe. That's what the first thing I want to say about that. But within the formulation, without the allergens, it means generally speaking, that there'll be very little naturals or no naturals in it at all. Some naturals are allergen-free. Patchouli is allergen-free. Some forms of sandalwood are allergen-free. Cedarwood is allergen-free. All the citruses contain generally, don't pick my brains, limonene, linalool, sometimes geraniol, sometimes citral, depending on what sort of citrus it is. I can't think offhand any other naturals that are. Oud is allergen-free. Rose is not allergen-free. Ylang-ylang is not allergen-free. It's incredibly difficult to create completely natural fragrances that can actually be more toxic than aroma chemicals. As a side note as well, before my range started, I went and I did a lot of testing with my range and I tested it at a lot of different types of people, different demographics, different sexes, all of that. And I was asked at an event I went to where I was just testing the fragrances out, do you sell any fragrances that are natural? And I said, plutonium is natural, but you wouldn't put that on your skin, it's radioactive. But actually, high amounts of citrus and especially grapefruit and rose and all that ylang-ylang, high amounts of that, which would give you a feel of it, would be very unsafe and very toxic. And actually, aroma chemicals like ambroxan, isosuper, hedione, vanillin are very safe, don't cause allergies within people. Coumarin does. But all of those do not. Heliotrope doesn't cause reactions either. So that's why I always say perfect perfumery in my sort of thinking is sort of 60 to 70% aroma chemicals and the rest is naturals, and you get a beautiful symphony all working together, and that is the key to modern perfumery. So on the back of this, it's devoid of naturals because there was no allergens. So I'm going into this thinking that it's going to be primarily aroma chemicals, which is fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but there's kind of a limit to what you can do. So this you find in shopping centres and in malls, and this has been designed to give masses of lift and travel through the shopping centre and affect people's scent. When I went there, it was really hard sell, very uncomfortable. At the opposite of where I like to be in my shop, when people come to my shop, I like them to feel like they can take their time, even if you buy a 2ml, a 10ml, can or whatever, you can always come back. And it really is giving people space and time to try stuff and to talk to them about how they're feeling about it. All of that stuff, that's how I train my staff. And eventually when we go out and have shops, that's going to be the experience. You come in and you can try some stuff out, and there's no hard sell at all. But this has been designed to sillage, to get people, and then hard sell it. And this was really hard sell. When I say I want your most popular one or something, or I don't know, it became very uncomfortable because they were trying to get me to take a lot and I only wanted one. Anyway, enough babbling, on to testing. I do like the bottle. Sweet, it's making me cough. Sweet, vanilla-y, Isu Super, Hedione, vanilla, ethyl maltol, whipping you in the face, smashing you in the face. This is sweet and vanilla-y. Light, airy from the Isu Super, the Hedione. Isu Super at the top, Hedione is the next constituent down. Good choice of robust musks to help give support and clean up all of that vanillin, ethyl maltol core. And Broxin, a few fruit molecules. I always think the Domesticum molecules with vanillin smell like date. They sort of smell date, or definitely Middle Eastern, depending on which Domesticum molecule you use. Sort of smells oriental. On to my final thoughts. Kind of for £108, I feel a little bit underwhelmed because it's expensive. £108 for this, it's expensive. The sillage is nice, anchoring onto the skin, lovely, but it smells like vanilla, sweetened vanilla, a bit fruity. I think this would be great if you are allergenic to fragrances and you would like to wear something. This, I think, because it's devoid of allergens, would be great for you. So that is the caveat in what I'm going to say. This is great if you're allergenic and you want to wear something sweet and woody. The woodiness is the Isu Super apparent, and you can smell it's apparent because it's the ambery, woody-like facet to the formulation. So I'll go through my marks. I'm assuming that the box is safe, legal, compliant. Let me have a look. I got to say I'm a little bit suspicious of the way it has no allergens in and all the rest of it, but it doesn't really smell like there's much naturals in it. I'm not really picking up much, but that is in my opinion, of course. Longevity is very good. Projection is really good. Sillage is really good. They're really good. It's been formulated really well. Smells like modern perfumery. But how I feel, obviously, as a perfumer who's experienced with perfumery, and I'm sure fragrance community out there, is it smells simplistic and it smells like there's not much going on. I would love some naturals in. I'd love some lemon, mandarin, patchouli, sandalwood, ylang ylang, oud, rose, all that oud, rose, all of that stuff would be gorgeous in it, and then it would take the marks massively up. But to me, this is my opinion, of course, it smells like a starting formulation where I'd start and then I would add on things to it, ambers to it, wood-like raw materials, jarvinol, limonol, bangalore, all of that in there as well. Amber-like raw materials, massive amounts of sort of naturals going in it. Lemon, mandarin, cedarwood would be good, pink pepper would be good to give it spike. Oh, there's so much you could do with this, and I'd love to see that. If the price was lower, about 60, it would get higher marks, but purely because, in my opinion, it seems to be lower in naturals or devoid of naturals. You know, I feel it's overpriced, and I'm always looking after your money. But the projection is good, the longevity is good, it's doing all of that, but it smells like a nice ambery scent. I'm going to mark it a 6 out of 10. Underwhelming in my opinion, and I would love to see much, much more going into it. But as I said, if you are struggling to find a fragrance because you're super reactive, this is for you. But for me, I think I'm going to use it as a pretty paperweight. So we love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe. More fascinating, interesting content. Lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well. See you soon.